Unfortunately, we were told to bring in our top 3 or 4 selectees, and from that, I will let you tell the rest of the story.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is good news. As Commissioner Onusko talked about, we did have a search committee for the JCDA to fill the vacancy left by John Reisenweber, big shoes to fill. But we were fortunate, we got some pretty good applications, quite a few out of state, out of the region, completely out of the area. But with that, we did narrow it down, the search committee. The committee made a recommendation to our board, and our board has approved and would like to have the recommendation and approval of this commission to select Nick Deal as our next executive director for the Jefferson County Development Authority Board. And I'm happy to discuss Nick's qualifications. I think a lot of people here know Nick. He is a resident of Berkeley County, has been involved extensively in our area in Jefferson County and the entire Panhandle. He, for the past 12 years, has worked with the Department of Commerce, and I kind of joke that he's been sort of interviewing and doing had the qualifications and working the job for about the last 12 years. He's been an integral part of some of the growth that we have seen in Jefferson County for business, both retention he's worked on and expansion, and he's done an amazing job. He's been involved with a lot of these projects. A lot of us know him personally and professionally, and I have to say, as a member of the Development Authority and a member of, being involved in this county, we are very fortunate to get someone like Nick Deal to be interested to lead this growth for Jefferson County. He's an unbelievable applicant and candidate, and it was just a no-brainer for all of us, as I know the commissioner can relate to as well. So what we are coming forth to the board, or to the commission, to ask them is that for 2 motions, and we can discuss those motions, but one, of course, is to approve the employment of Nick Deal as our executive director, and the other is a motion to review the salary of Nick Deal as the executive director in 12 months based on his performance, budget availability, and other experience. So we're asking for 2 motions, and I'm happy to discuss anything else. I believe you did get a copy of his resume in your packets.
I'll make the motion to approve the employment of Nicholas H. Deal, Executive Director of the Jefferson County Development Authority, with an annual salary of $75,000.
I'll second that.
And then I want to make a comment. I've known Nick for a long time, and I'm very excited that he applied for, and that the Development Authority, that he was the best candidate for the job. Nick can hit the ground running. He is keenly aware of the economic development in the county. I think he is keenly aware of projects that have been and continue to be in the pipeline, and I think he was a great choice.
Yeah, I'd like to go into this, take off on Commissioner Nolan's point a little bit. Nick was involved, and if you look at his resume, you'll see that his current position is with the West Virginia Development Office. He's the regional manager for business and industrial development here in the Panhandle, and that's the greater Panhandle, not just the 3 counties, but spilling over the mountain a little bit. He was involved in the Ruxall contract and bringing them over here. He was involved in the TIMA, that's the Italian valve, whatever, makers, and getting them here. There are several irons in the fire of various degrees of hotness that Nick is involved in from the State Development Office level. In fact, representatives of one of them had dinner here recently, and Nick was an attendee there. His stepping into that position makes it absolutely seamless. He's moving in. Now, the reason that he's not here today is because he's still wrapping up business with the Development Authority, and he's slowly getting into wearing two hats, and then he'll be shedding one of them, but he's not complete with that. What I'd like to do, one of the things that impressed us on the selection committee during his interview was his clarity of a vision for the Development Authority going forward. And I would like to get him in front of us at our next meeting on the 3rd and have him talk to his vision of economic development in the county. It's pretty dynamic. While the transition is going to be seamless, on the other hand, Nick's accent marks are on different syllables than John's were, which is no dig on John, but I think we have a really neat prospect in front of us. So I'm not going to say any more about Nick other than that. The salary, by the way, is less. It's, first of all, it's within what we budgeted for that position. It is less than the starting salary that we picked John Reisenweber up with. So I think this is a great deal, both functionally and financially.
When does he start? Full-time?
November 20th is the date that will be his first day off, which, goes to his integrity. He wants to give time with his current job to make sure he wraps up things. And the relationship with that, with the State Economic Development Office is huge. So we are definitely.
Yeah, our close relationship with the State Economic Development, we don't want, by stealing him, quote unquote, from them, we at the same time want to maintain good relations with them, because we couldn't have done what we have done in the county without everybody on our side being team players and whatever. Well, the motion's been made and it's been seconded. All in favor of approving the employment of Nicholas H. Deal, Executive Director of the Jefferson County Development Authority, with an annual salary of $75,000, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And I'll make the second motion. Move to review the salary of Nicholas H. Deal, Executive Director of the JCDA, in 12 months based on performance, budget availability, and future approvals.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor of reviewing the salary of Nicholas H. Deal, Executive Director of the JCDA, in 12 months based on performance, budget availability, and future approvals, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? I might add in closing on that this all seems pretty standard. The actual motions that we just approved were as a result of negotiations with Deal. He has been presented with an offer contingent on our approving what we just got finished approving. So
We're good to go.
trains left the
We're
station
good to go.
and
It's
headed our
exciting
way.
times. Nick's going to be.
Yep, thank you very much.
Well,
Eric Lewis, who's the president of the JDA board, unfortunately is out of town, which is why Annette ably presented the case for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's going to be good times. Thanks.
At this point,